Hey, what's up, everybody? Shag Dog here, Spitter Swallow Beer Review, and this is my new thing. I'm going to do a playlist probably with this is Rockin' Reviews and Awesome Brews. And I'm just going to start off with a theme right off the get go. My top albums of each year. Some of these albums I don't even know the whole albums, but as long as I have like 3 or 4 songs I know off them. And this is starting. I'm starting in '83 basically, so I was about 11 years old at that point, going on 12 at the end of the year. So these are just my top videos or top albums of that year, and it's sporadic. There's a couple, I'm hair band, I'm hair metal all the way, but that year was a hard one for me, and I'm not gonna, even though I like Metallica, Kill 'Em All, I didn't hear that till later. And there's only like 2 or 3 songs I could name off that offhand right now. Anyhow, so I'm trying to keep it as was, and maybe a little bit is now. So I liked it back then, and I like it now, or I remember being nostalgic of how I liked it back then. But anyhow, most of these albums, especially the lower half, I don't even know the full albums, but I know like one of them is like a couple of them. I'll tell you as I get into each album. How about that? There you go. All right, so this is Rockin' Reviews with Awesome Brews, and this awesome brew I have right now. I thought it was a Luke Combs. I saw Luke Combs got a new beer, and it's Miller Lite though. I guess a limited edition beer never broke my heart. Miller Lite, yeah. So let's pop that open before we get into it. If you like, subscribe, comment. We're live. Hopefully the video stays stable because my internet sucks and my computer sucks. I'm a little bit on Wi-Fi right now, so I'm kind of away from the Wi-Fi box. I gotta get a new computer and a new cable and all that jazz, but figure why not? We'll do this one live. Maybe in the future I'll record it. And there's albums of '83 behind me there, but if I zoom in, bam. But behind me, yeah, albums of '83. A couple of them might be on the list. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. Number 10. This band, I like some of their albums, or the hits off the albums. I wouldn't say I liked all their albums or anything. But this particular album had 3 great songs on it, and the rest of it's pretty much trash to me. But these 3 songs are good enough to put it at number 10 for my top 10 albums of the year. I mean, I had more albums I could thought of, but most of the albums of this year, I only knew 2 or 3 or 4 songs off this of all the albums, This is Duran Duran, 7 and the Ragged Tiger. And honorable mention songs off there, The Reflex, Union of the Snake, and New Moon on Monday. 3 great songs. I didn't even know The Reflex was on that album because I think Union of the Snake was the first single, then maybe New Moon on Monday, and then The Reflex. I thought The Reflex was on a different album. But anyhow, that's number 10. So take it or leave it, right? And I'm more of a hair metal guy, but as we get to the list, you'll see more hair metal or harder rock type stuff. I got some poppy stuff in here, though. But this is my first year really getting into pop, metal, everything, so bear with me, right? Number 9, ZZ Top, Eliminator. I mean, who didn't like this band back in '83, right? Give Me All Your Lovin', Legs, Sharp Dressed Man, and Got Me Under Pressure. Great song, great album, great car. I mean, what more can you say? And the guy with no beard, his name was Beard, and the 2 other guys had big beards. So there you go. Number 9, ZZ Top, Eliminator. Let's take a swig. Miller Lite, not the greatest beer, but still holds a dear place in my heart. It was my go-to light beer for many years, actually. Number 7, Police, Synchronicity. If any of you were around back in '83 when this album came out, early '83, I believe it came out, maybe middle, early. Great songs. King of Pain, Wrapped Around Your Finger, Every Breath You Take, and Synchronicity 2. I didn't like Synchronicity 1, but Synchronicity 2. Pretty good stuff there. Just those 4 songs low. Number 7 on my list. And as we get later in the years, I'll have full. I'll say, hey, I like this whole damn album, because maybe I'm gonna have to go back really through those early years and really listen to a lot of albums. My big thing is I didn't really buy a lot of albums in my young days because, of course, I was 11 years old this year, didn't have a job. My mother wouldn't buy me a damn album every week, so I usually got an album if I asked for it for Christmas, maybe my birthday. And I didn't even ask for albums. I was more worried about other stuff at that time. I was getting into puberty and growing hair on my balls. So I usually just watched MTV and there you go. But that was the Police, man. It's the sound of the Police. All right, number 8. This is probably the biggest album of the year, but it's number 8 on my list. Great songs on it. Michael Jackson, Thriller. Yeah, Michael Jackson, I know. But it was a great album, biggest selling album at the time, I think, of all time. And you had Beat It, Billie Jean, Thriller, PYT, Gotta Be Starting Something. I mean, all the great songs on there. Every song on that one was great, pretty much. The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. Come on. Number 8, Michael Jackson. Yeah, love it. Love it or hate it. Yeah, number 7. A pretty good album, actually. This one I know pretty much most of the whole album, and it's my favorite song by this band. Isn't their biggest song, but it's on this album also. But Huey Lewis and the News, Sports. You got The Heart of Rock and Roll, I Want a New Drug, If This Is It, and Heart and Soul. My favorite Huey Lewis song really is Heart and Soul. Yeah, great song. I think that might have been one. That and I Want a New Drug might have been 1 and 2. I forget which one was the first single on this. I know Heart of Rock and Roll and If This Is It came out later. But yeah, that's my favorite song by Huey Lewis and News. Heart and Soul. And I Want a New Drug's pretty good too. Next one is Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. This one comes in at number 6, my albums of the year, 1983. Pretty good album. I mean, let's see. I really screwed up on this one. Forgot to write the song list down. I can't think right now. But yeah, Rebel Yell, of course, Dancing with Myself, White Wedding, was Eyes Without a Face on this one. Really good stuff like Billy Idol. Kind of like punk rock, pop mix, And he was in a punk band or something originally, right? Before he went solo. So pretty good album. I think the first solo off that album was Dance With Myself, and that was a great video and everything, man. This were great times in 1983. Really good. I mean, not just these bands I'm mentioning, really a lot of great bands and great songs, at least. There's so many bands that had 2 or 3 great songs. I was like, man, I got to narrow it down here until I get to my heavier stuff here later on. Yeah, so Billy Idol was number 6, Rebel Yell. Number 5, a great album cover. Not their best album, but it possibly could be. Journey, Frontiers. Great song, Send Her My Love, Faithfully, Separate Ways, Chain Reaction. I mean, through and through, Journey, those years, late 70s, early 80s were it, man. For arena rock bands, Journey was at the top of its game. After this one, I think they started taking their fall. I mean, what was it, 85 when they came out with that one album, replaced the drummer and the bass guitar. So a couple of good songs on that one, but they weren't the same, and they've never been the same ever since. So what can you do, right? Especially without Steve Perry, they really suck, right? Yeah, so that's my number 5. Number 4 album of the year of 1983. It's not really an album, it's an EP. It's my favorite '80s. My favorite band overall and my favorite hair band, Rats, self-titled EP. Only 6 songs on it. Tell the World, the original version of Back for More. You Think You're Tough, Sweet Cheater, and then it also had the original version of, I believe, You're in Trouble and Walk the Dog. Really great stuff. Matter of fact, I didn't even see this album until 1984 because I didn't know about it, the CP. After Out of the Cellar came out, and I fell in love with Rat. And then I'm walking through the mall one day, and it had this record in the window of the record store, black with a woman's leg and shoe and a bunch of 5 rats around her foot. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I realized, I'm like, they got a new album already? And then I realized it was from the year before, and it was EP. And I was like, oh, crap. Of course, I didn't have any money to buy it. So luckily, one of my friends got it, and yeah, it was pretty good. I still didn't like it as much as Out of the Cellar, but it was special. Let's put it that way. Yeah. All right, number 3. My favorite album of the year. I'm not saying that these are the best albums. Yeah. Number 3 of 1983, Quiet Riot, Mental Health. It's probably their best album, and they didn't have another good one after this. I mean, they had a couple okay songs, Mama World, Crazy Now, Party All Night, stuff like that in their later albums, but nothing big. Albums weren't big. This one, of course, Come On, Feel the Noise, the remake. Mental Health, Bang Your Head, Slick Black Cadillac, Love's a Bitch, Thunderbird. It's just a great metal. I mean, at that time, that's what you considered metal. Well, for mainstream metal, I guess you could say, not like Metallica or anything like that, but that was like, yeah, Mental Health. That was metal, right? At that time, yeah. That was the top of their game right there, Quiet Riot. Matter of fact, they used to have a Friday night video fights thing on MTV back in those days. And I think Def Leppard, pretty sure it was Def Leppard, I believe, had a photograph, and it was the champion of the Friday night video fights for so many weeks. And then Quiet Riot came in with Come On, Feel the Noise and beat him out. Yeah. I remember that crap. And then, matter of fact, Quiet Riot, Come On, Feel the Noise, got beat by Duran Duran eventually, New Moon on Monday. So very disappointing. But anyhow, that's my number 3 album of 1983. Number 2, I didn't like this album when it first came out because I thought this was too dark and metal. But as a couple years went by, then I started liking it more, And that was Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue. When I heard that song, Shout at the Devil, I'm like, what the holy hell is this satanic stuff? But it's not really satanic. They're shouting at the devil, right? Who knows, right? But anyhow, great songs in that one. Within a year after the album came out, then I saw the video for Too Young to Fall in Love. She's Got the Looks That Kill. Really great songs all over this whole album. Yeah, just a really good one. It's their best album, if you ask me. But some people might say Livewire. Some people might say Dr. Feelgood. But this is their best. They're truly their classic right here. And back then, you could understand Vince. So. All right, and let's go to number 1. Before I get to number 1, honorable mentions of that year, and I lost my page. But anyhow, other albums were, of course, Kill 'Em All by Metallica, Dio. Not the last line. God, I can't think right now. Oh, whatever the main song was from Dio. Yeah, that album. Even Men at Work was a great selling album that year. Madonna was a pretty good selling album. That wasn't Like a Virgin. That was the one before that with Borderline. But surprisingly, with that being the biggest hit off that album, there's a couple other songs that are minor hits, but that one sold pretty good, actually. But number 1 of my albums for 1983, Def Leppard, Pyromania. Man, I asked for Pyromania. My friend had it. I think I saw the video for Photograph or something, and then my friend had the album, or maybe I saw Foolin'. I can't remember which video I saw first by them, but and then my friend had the album, and he said, "Yeah, I got it. Come on, listen." And I was like 12 years, not even 12. I didn't turn 12 to the end of the year, I think, but he's like, "Yeah, I got it. Listen to the whole thing." I was like, "Holy crap, that's awesome!" So then at the end of the year, Christmas, I asked for Pyromania. And Christmas Day came, and my brother asked for Pyromania too, my older brother, and he got Def Leppard On Through the Night, and I got Def Leppard High and Dry cassette. So I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't say that, but I was like, "What the?" So I got High and Dry. I was like, "What?" I didn't even know they had any other albums. So, but I came to like the High and Dry album. Actually, that's my favorite Def Leppard album, actually. But then I eventually got Pyromania on later on in the year. So, but that is definitely my favorite album of 1983, Pyromania, Def Leppard. Photograph, Foolin', Rock of Ages, Stage Fright, Die Hard the Hunter, Action Not Words. I mean, you name it, it was on there. It was awesome. Matter of fact, one time I went to see a movie. I can't remember if it was Time Bandits or what the hell movie it was. And, when you go in the movie theater, back then it didn't show commercials on the screen. This is back in 1983, 84. I think it was 83. It might have been 84. They just had the blank screen there, waiting for the movie to start. Lights are on. You're in there, and the dude was playing Pyromania. I was like, this is so awesome. Played friggin' Pyromania, the whole album. Well, most of the album while we were waiting for the movie. That was awesome. Yeah, so Pyromania. Number 1, 1983. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite albums of 1983 were. I was going to go straight, like, glam, hair band, maybe heavy metal, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to include everything. These first couple of years, not too many rock bands I like the whole album or more than one or two hits, As a matter of fact, even later years, there's certain bands, wow, I like one or two songs by them, but the rest of the album sucks. So it's going to be hard. Every year it might be hard. So I'm definitely going to do ones that I like the full albums. And later on in the years, especially 87 and up, I know the full albums, and I'll give you an actual heartfelt top 10 list. And I'm going to go up into the 90s, and I'm not even going to name grunge bands on there because there are some grunge bands or 90s alternative bands that I like the whole damn albums. I won't mention them right now because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but yeah. I love hair metal, hair bands. My favorite type of music, rock music, but I'm not ashamed to say I like some grunge bands or alternative stuff in the 90s. And I still listen to some hair metal stuff that if they ever came out with a good album in the 90s all the way up to like 2010. So, in any case, yeah, that's my top 10. Thanks for the one thumbs up. Oh, I got a comment. Sorry about that. I didn't see it. Looking good. Happy Saturday. Hey, Brenda. Happy Saturday to you also. Cheers. Yeah, I gotta go to bed. It's almost work time. I mean, not almost work time, almost sleepy time because I work graveyard shift. So thanks for watching. This will probably be a new thing I'll do once a month, maybe. Maybe Jammer could join also. We can combine. I'll do my top 10. We'll work it down. It'll actually be 20. Kind of split it up. Yeah, it'd be awesome. He could even throw in some country bands or some folk music. Who knows? All right, well, I'm Shag Dog, Spitter Swallow Beer Review. This has been the Rock Reviews and Awesome Brews. We'll see you on the next one when we do 1984. Cheers.